Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We're here today to do my May TBR. With May, there are a couple of things that I kind of want to touch on before I get into how I did last month. So the first one is that I will be doing what I call Read Everyday May. So for Read Everyday May, the goal is to read for 30 minutes every day. This is going to be a really hectic month, so I'm sort of setting this goal as a way to help me stay sane. Because typically when things get crazy, I end up not reading, and then I end up just sort of like scrolling or watching YouTube and not actually doing any reading. But then I find that when I do read, I feel better mentally and just am in a better place in general. I just feel more relaxed because it is sort of the thing that helps me to relax. So, Read Every Day May is going to happen. I didn't do it last year. I did it the year before. I will link the vlog playlist from the year before down below if you want to watch that. I didn't do it last year because I had a baby and he was a month old, so that would have been a disaster. But we are back on Read Everyday May, and yeah, so I'll be making a digital bullet journal spread to go along with that, and I will be vlogging the month of May. So you will get to see the chaos, and it should be fun. So the second thing that I wanted to talk about was I feel like I haven't done a really good job of explaining my rules for the deck of TBR, so I wanted to touch on those briefly. I actually went through and made a notes document so that I could remember them, because even I wasn't totally clear on all of my rules. So the first one is that if I draw the same card twice, I have to add another draw onto the end of however many I'm doing for that month. And then the other scenario where I would have to draw another card is if I draw 3 of the same number or face card, so like 3 threes or 3 jacks or something like that, then I would have to add a draw at the end. Then if the one that I added, thanks to somebody's suggestion in the comments, is if I draw more than half of the cards from the same suit, then I would mix in the little prompts that I've been setting aside here, so the ones that I've gotten so far. So if I have like 6 draws, then 4 of those draws would have to be in the same suit for me to mix those in. And then 2 rules that I don't think I've actually even talked about. The first one is if I draw the Joker book, which has only happened once, and then I don't at least partially read it, so I don't start it, I can DNF it, I can, start it and not finish it, which has been the case with the one that I have drawn. But if I don't even attempt it, then I have to add the other Joker back into the deck. So currently there's only 1 Joker in the deck. If I don't even attempt the Joker book, then I have to add the second Joker back into the deck, thus upping the chance that I will get the Joker again. So there's that. That's really the only punishment I feel like I have in this game, because I do want to try these books. So I want to do things to encourage me to read them. The other one is like a reward, which I will be doing for the first time this month, which is if I read all of the books on my TBR from the previous month, then I get to look at the board, remove a prompt that I'm not as excited about, and replace it with one that I'm very excited about. So with that said, we'll jump into how I did last month and why that rule in particular is relevant. So the first book that I drew was Scribd, and I did listen to Out Past the Stars by KB Wagers. I love this universe, and I am sad that they will not be writing in this universe for the foreseeable future. But this was fantastic. Then 2018 backlist was The Vault of Walt Volume 2. This was actually one of the better essay collections that Jim Korkis has written about Disney parks, films, Walt Disney himself. This was pretty good. I was excited about it. Then we had a book that was higher than 4-star rating, and that was my indie press project book from Coffee House Press, Exiles of Eden. I didn't love this, but only because I feel like I have a really hard time connecting with poetry in a written form. Like when it's read, it has it's much more impactful in my opinion, or at least for me personally. So didn't love this, but also, you know, it was really interesting themes, and I think for the right person or someone who enjoys reading poetry versus listening to it, this could be absolutely fantastic. Then we have the only one that I haven't finished, but I'm counting it because I've started it, and that is Kiss of the Spider Woman. This is the book for translated, and it is the 27th, 26th of the month, so I will have made pretty decent progress in this by the end of the week. So this one is the only one I, like I said, have not finished. And then for Pet Pick, we had Her Silhouette Drawn in Water. This is just a short Tor.com novella, and this was super interesting. I'm glad that I just picked this up on a whim from McKay's, so yes. And then the last one was the newest published, and that was Ravage the Dark by Tara Sim, and this was the culminating book in the duology for the Scavenge the Stars. Is that what it is? Yeah, Scavenge the Stars. And yeah, this was good. I liked the first one better, but this one's still a really solid read. All right, so first thing we're going to do is replace the Joker book for the month. Hopefully we won't get the same one again, because I feel like we've gotten that one before. Okay. Well, so this one is The Pope's Daughter, which is a Europa edition that I actually tried to read and decided I wasn't interested in. So this one is gone. So I'm going to take that out. We have the Arabian Nights, which, to be honest, not the worst month for that to come up, because Arabian Nights is a bunch of shorter tales, so that wouldn't be a bad book for trying to tackle during Read Everyday May. So that is added on there. We have a cat friend. Simon, excuse me. Thank you. Okay, Simon is gone, so we are going to shuffle these up, but before I do that, like I mentioned in the rules part of it, I did at least start every book that was on my TBR, and I finished all but one, which I'm in the middle of. So that means that I get to choose a prompt off of the board that I can replace. I'm going to be choosing Intimidating Book because I don't need that plus the Joker book on here. So that one is going to go in the little pot over there, and I'm going to actually replace it with Choose a Prompt. So choose a prompt means that if I get that one, I could choose any prompt on the board to basically replace that, and then I would just replace the two for the next draw. So that is where we stand with the board. That's a fun little treat for myself, I feel like. And also kind of incentivizing, because there are some other ones on here that I would potentially like to remove, but we may or may not get there. So I will be drawing 6 books for this month. I might read more than that fairly quickly, depending on which books get selected for this, just because with Read Everyday May, I tend to read more because I'm reading, you know, a little bit every day. So if that happens, I may do another one of these middle of the month, or, you know, select a couple books as I go kind of situation. If that's something that you would be interested in seeing, then give this video a thumbs up to let me know that you are interested, and we can probably arrange that. All right, so last shuffle there, and let's see what we got. Oh, the first one is an ace. So ace of diamonds, and that means that we will pull from the TBR jar. I may actually need to add a couple of books to it before we draw that. I added the 2 books that I knew were not in here. I think most of the books are in here, but we'll see. So I'm going to stir it up. And then we're going to pick one. I hate this so much because I have no control. All right, well, we'll see. The book is The Great Offshore Grounds, which is right here. Not a small book. And while I am interested in this is not something that I feel like was high on my priority list. And I actually just did a reel on Instagram, which you can follow me on Instagram down below for my book reviews and what I'm currently reading. And this was the book that I said that I probably wouldn't get to for a while. So I guess I was wrong. This is going to be the first one going on my TBR, and this is about half-sisters who are trying to claim an inheritance, but I think their uncle makes them go on like some kind of road trip scavenger hunt. So family novel. I am excited about this. I think this was on the National Book Award long list or something like that. I think that's where I heard about this from. Anyways, I am excited about this one. Just wouldn't have been my first pick. All right, so we're going to put that back in the deck and give it a good shuffle. And then we'll move on to picking card number 2. I didn't have to replace anything because it was a face card. So we're all in the face cards today. No, this is going poorly. So the queen is also a random draw. So for this one, I have to draw from this cup, which is my acquisitions from 2021. So not as bad because all of these are books that I recently bought and am obviously very interested in reading. But at the same time, like, if you've been watching this, the majority of this game is set up to give me a lot of freedom and choice. And that's not how this is going. So let's see what we get. So we got The Dazzle of the Day, which is a sci-fi book that I recently got from Book Outlet. Yeah, from Book Outlet. So let me grab that. So here it is. This was actually something that I bought on the recommendation of Rachel from Colonnati. I really, I like her recommendations for sci-fi. And yeah, I don't actually know anything about this, to be honest. I think at one point I did, enough to want to read it. But yeah, don't know much about this. And it's not that long of a book, so I am adding books to my TBR that would not have been my initial pickups, but you know, for Read Everyday May, that may be a good thing, because then, you know, I'm reading steadily throughout the month. So we'll get through some things, and I may find a favorite. I bought all of these books for a reason, so there's that. With 2 books that were picked out of my control, let's hope that the board is a little nicer to me on draw number 3. So we have 6 of clubs, and 6 of clubs is, oh yeah, 5-star prediction. That's much better. I already know what I'm going to pick for this. that is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. I need to read this going into, it's coming out in June, and so I wanted to read it before June, but also I'm just very excited about this. So yeah, One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston is 100% a 5-star prediction for me. So, all right, so we're going to put that in a little cup and replace that prompt with fast paced. So the ones that are pace related, as I've mentioned before, have to do with some different ways that you can sort your books on the story graph. So that would be a fast paced book. So we're going to shuffle this up, and then we will be on draw number 4. And we're now at the halfway point, and the suits don't, well, no, let me not say that, because I could draw 3 of the same and it would screw this up. So, ooh, I don't think we've done this yet. So this is a jack, so jack of clubs, and with the jack cards, what we do is it's going to be essentially combining 2 prompts on the board, but using dice. So I will be rolling a 10-sided die and a 4-sided die twice. And the 10-sided die will tell me which row, although I will re-roll ones, and then the 4-sided die will tell me which column. And then I'll do that twice, like I said, and the combination, I have to take those 2 prompts and I have to try to figure out a book that meets both prompts, that marries those 2 prompts. There are going to be some that's not possible with. If that situation arises, we will handle that when we get there. And yeah, so let's get started. I'm excited about this one because this just seems like a lot of fun. And our first roll is, well, we got a 1, so we got to re-roll that. We got a 1 again. 7. So 7 and 4. So 7 is going to be here. 4 is hearts. So BIPOC rep is our first prompt that we're going to be using. And then we're going to re-roll. We're going to re-roll for our second one. Oh. So we've got 1 and 4. So 1 is spades, 4 is 2020 backlist. I think I actually can combine those 2. Let me look at it real quick. I picked out Soul Tourist by Bernardine Evaristo. I have all of Evaristo's books, and I've been wanting to pick them up. And so I just looked through them because I got all of them in 2020, and they all sound interesting, honestly. But this one, for some reason, just speaks to me right now. It's about 2 basically unlikely people who end up on some kind of road trip together. And it just, I don't know, it just sounds really fascinating. And I love Evaristo's writing, so that is going to be the next one on my list. All right, so then both of these are going to go into the little cup, and I'm going to replace them both. So we have adult, let me not knock the board completely over, and we have a book with 1 perspective. I really like the jack prompts. I haven't gotten to do that before, and I really enjoyed the challenge of trying to marry 2 prompts together. Those were really easy though, so some of the other ones are probably going to be a little more challenging. All right, so number 5 is 4 of clubs, which is medium paced. So let me grab my laptop and I will check and see what medium paced books I have on my physical TBR. So I've got my laptop here, and we are going to take a look at my story graph and we're going to go to owned books, and from there we will see what we get for for pace. So we're just looking for anything with a medium pace, and I think it should already be set to my owned books. So yeah, so we're going to filter. So we could do an Animorphs book. Oh, we already read this. So let's take that out. So, oh, now I do have the audiobook for His Only Wife, which I'm very interested in reading. We also have The Galaxy and the Ground Within. So we have a lot of good choices here. We're getting into older books. So I could set myself up for success and just put an audiobook or an Animorphs book on there. Basically, the majority of the books on here are things I really want to read. So I think I'm going to go with, so we're going to go with His Only Wife, which is a story that I think it's a woman who marries somebody that she doesn't really know, and then come to find out that he actually is in love with somebody else, and his parents just like arrange for them to get married. So I don't know. I've heard really good things about this, and I almost picked it up as an audiobook this month, but then I chose a different book. So yes, looking forward to listening to the audiobook of that this month. All right, medium paste is going in the cup, and we will draw for the replacement, which will be Justin's pick. So this is just Justin's pick, not Justin's free-for-all pick. So that means that if that comes up, he has to pick a book off of my physical TBR, not just any book, which he could still pick the book that he picked from my physical TBR, or from his TBR that's now part of my TBR because I didn't read it. Okay, so last card, and it is a 2 of clubs. So 2 of clubs, oh yeah, is a graphic novel. That is very handy. Yes, graphic novel. I only actually have one, Simon. I only actually have one, so that'll work out very well. And then last was a graphic novel, which works out great. That is a quick read for sure. And I'm going to be finishing up Giant Days. So Giant Days Volume 14 breaks my heart. I don't want this series to end, but this is the final graphic novel in that series. There may be 1 or 2 like extra credit ones that I haven't read, so I'll have to double check my records against the actual comic series. But yeah, so this is near and dear to my heart, and I look forward to reading it in May. So this is what we're looking at for the month of May. I am definitely curious to see how some of these go. These 2, very curious. Extremely excited about this one, and very interested in this one. So I feel like this is a great way to kick off Read Everyday May. Like I said, I'll be vlogging the whole time, so look for vlogs whenever I get them edited. I've been really bad about editing. But yeah, so I'll be reading these and taking you along on the chaotic adventure that is the month of May this year.